Good evening, and thank you for watching. You got high school volleyball action, the Cascade Christian Challengers and the St. Mary's Crusaders on Table Rock Sports. I'm Jim McCoy, cameraman Joe Brett here, leading off here for this evening. Tonight is senior night for the Cascade Christian Challengers, and we are going to go ahead and take an opportunity to recognize these 7 girls that, as someone who works here at the high school, has been here full-time for about 4 years, it's like I'm a part of their graduating class. I've watched them come up through the ranks, and they're really impressive young ladies. The first senior we'll introduce is setter Taylor Cave. She is the daughter of Rick and Brenda Cave. The Cave family attends New Life Church of the Nazarene. Taylor's hobbies are drawing, snowboarding, hiking, CrossFit, hanging out with friends, and going on adventures. Her favorite memory is going to the state tournament in her freshman and sophomore years and all those locker room jam sessions. If you've ever played on a team, you know what that's all about. After high school, she plans to attend George Fox University, joining the volleyball team her sophomore year and then majoring in exercise science. And again, that is Taylor Cave, who wears number 5 for the Challengers. Next up is defensive specialist Millie Croy. She is the daughter of Darren and Heidi Croy. Her family attends Heritage Christian Fellowship. She enjoys hanging out with Aaron, cooking, listening to music, and having conference calls with her brother and best friends. Among her community activities, volunteer for Red Cross, also teaches the Heritage Sunday School class, and every summer leading a VBS group. Her favorite memory is getting Starbucks and napping in the team room before games. Her plans include attending Berea College to study biology and genetics, and she's hoping to eventually become a genetic counselor. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Millie Croy. Next is Ania Farmer. Ani is the daughter of Brianna Farmer and Stan Petoskey. She attends The Story in Ashland. Her hobbies include eating rice cakes and drinking cold brew with Cara. She volunteers as a Sunday school teacher at The Story and as a first grade teacher's assistant at Grace Christian School. Her favorite memory, almost breaking her ankle in a demonstration drill and Cara saying, "No, get up." Ani plans to attend a 4-year college to major in business and become a real estate agent, possibly playing volleyball at the collegiate level. Ladies and gentlemen, Ani Farmer. Next is Janie Keniston. She is the daughter of Ken and Hisako Keniston. She attends Table Rock Fellowship. Her hobbies include club volleyball, track, hanging out with friends, and watching Criminal Minds. She, among her community activities, has been volunteering at Asante and at a soup kitchen. Her favorite memory is breakfast before tournaments with the team and spending time with the team before and during state tournament. Her plans, she's going to go up to Pullman, Washington to attend Washington State University and major in criminal justice. That's Janie Keniston. Then we have Cara Palmer. Cara is the daughter of Drew and Katie Palmer. She attends New Life Church of the Nazarene. Her hobbies include hanging out with Ani, eating rice cakes, and drinking cold brews and snuggling with her dog, Dobby. She, among her community activities, preparing Christmas dinners at the soup kitchen. Her favorite memory was as a freshman on the JV volleyball team. They won their first tournament ever against a lot of older players. After high school, Cara plans to attend SOU or Western Oregon University and major in nursing. And then Hannah Stanfield. Hannah is the daughter of Robert and Tanya Stanfield. She attends The Story in Ashland. She enjoys traveling, hanging out with her friends, drinking iced coffee, and being outdoors. Her community activities include volunteering for Compassion Highway and New Life Church. Her favorite memory was singing "We Are the Champions" on the bus ride home after winning the state championship her freshman year. Hannah plans to attend college and major in nursing. That's Hannah Stanfield. And then finally, last but not least, is Maddie Strain. You see her in the white Liberos uniform. And we'll be introducing her next out here on the floor. Maddie is the daughter of Matthew and Monique Strain. They attend Living Waters in Medford. Her hobbies include volleyball, track and field, CrossFit, singing, playing guitar, and ukulele. Maddie volunteered at McLaughlin Middle School, and also among her volunteer service activities include club volleyball clinics. Her favorite memory is when they clap and cheer before a game. It's a great way to feel connected with each other and have a good laugh before the games. Maddie plans to attend Rogue Community College to play volleyball, then transfer to the University of Western States to major in chiropractic care. That's Maddie Strain. So out there on the floor, once again, our seniors tonight, from your right, Taylor Cave, Millie Croy, Ani Farmer, Janie Keniston, Kara Palmer, Hannah Stanfield, and Maddie Strain. These fine young ladies comprise the class of 2021 and have been major ingredients in the success of the Cascade Christian Challengers volleyball team that has seen 2 state championships, a runner-up finish, and a perennial playoff powerhouse. So it's senior night here at the Pavilion at Cascade Christian High School. Glad you could join us here on TableRockSports.net. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's where you can keep up. And actually, by subscribing, I love it because what you can do is you can go on your smartphone and let's say, we'll take one of the matches last night, North and South playing each other in volleyball. I get a little reminder of that, and it's like a prompt, and it's like, hey, I can watch that when I have the opportunity. And those things are such wonderful tools to have. And, of course, there's also a Table Rock Sports app, so that's sure a nice tool. Yeah, you betcha. So make sure that you remember those as opportunities to keep up with all the great sports that we have to offer here in Southern Oregon. TableRockSports.net now serving 7 schools here in the Rogue Valley area. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. It's from the 6A and the Southwest Conference all the way down to the smaller schools such as Cascade Christian. We've got you covered, and especially in a year like this one where there's been limited to virtually no attendance at games, you can keep up with what's going on. So what we'll do right now is we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll get set for tonight's crosstown rivalry match. It's senior night at the Pavilion, the Crusaders and the Challengers, coming up on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
I think in our stores that we have the best selection and the best value for the dollar.
My name's Haley, and I've been showing sheep for 5 years through 4-H and pigs for 2 years through 4-H. 2 years ago I got grand champion, and today I got reserve grand champion. It's a really good program, and it teaches the kids self-responsibility. The program wouldn't be how it is today if we didn't have people like Sherb coming out and supporting us.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
At Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford, we've stocked up with over 200 new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from one of our largest inventories ever of new Jeep Cherokee 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back three-peat truck of the year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. You'll find the new vehicle you want at the low price you deserve. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
And welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion. Jim McCoy with you on TableRockSports.net. We are getting ready for tonight's match. A pair of crosstown rivals go at it. It's senior night here at the Pavilion. In case you caught it earlier, in case you missed it earlier, 7 Cascade Christian seniors honored. Hannah Stanfield, Maddie Strain, Janie Keniston, Taylor Cave, Ani Farmer, Kara Palmer, and Millie Croy. They come in tonight with a 6-0 record so far in the season, and they have 3 consecutive sweeps. They come in after a few days off last Thursday night, sweeping Douglas. Before that, same result against South Umpqua, and then Marshfield back on March 6th. And then looking back at the beginning of the schedule, they started out with a sweep of Brookings Harbor, and they'll see the Bruins tomorrow night. And I want to remind you that you can catch the action for tomorrow night's match on Table Rock Sports, as well as this one. That'll be Brookings Harbor, and look forward to a good match there. And then also a win against Sutherland, a team that was very tough for them last year. That you may recall that Sutherland ended up taking the number 1 seed out of the Far West League after battling with the likes of South Umpqua and Cascade Christian all the way down the stretch. As a result of some playoff matches, the Challengers came in the number 3 seed out of the league and made a quicker exit than I'm sure they would have liked. Now, what all of this is going to look like when we reach that culminating week, you've probably been reading about that in the media. It remains to be seen at this point how long and what we're going to come up with in terms of some type of a playoff, be it some type of a regional tournament or some type of kind of truncated system to maybe try to settle out a winner and do the best we can with the circumstances and the cards that we've been dealt to let especially the seniors competing for all schools this year have that kind of that sense of okay, yeah, when I was a senior, I played for the best team in the state, or I played for the runner-up team, or what have you. Now, looking over at the St. Mary's Crusaders roster, they come in with a 3-2 record, and we've seen a lot of teams kind of go through this year where they are the victims, if you will, of the COVID-19 pandemic and positive test results and counties being in the high-risk category or the extreme risk category. And so they've been a victim of match cancellations along the way. Looking at their schedule, again, I mentioned they're 3-2. Their opening match at South Umpqua back on March 2nd was canceled. But the following day, they played Lakeview at home and came away with a sweep. The day following that, they were scheduled to take on Douglas, But Douglas, again, you talk about a team that has been bit hard by COVID. This team has certainly experienced that in terms of being able to play matches just due to risk levels and things of that nature. Then, on a road trip to Gold Beach, the Crusaders came away with a sweep there. We're also winners against Prospect Charter School. And then on the 11th, they got swept against Brookings Harbor. A March 13th match ended up being canceled against Gold Beach. And then just here, a couple of days ago on Monday, the Crusaders took on a very tough, I tell you, down at the 1A level, don't sell these guys short. If you've lost to this team, nothing to hang your head over. RVA's got a solid team. And the Red Tail Hawks defeated the Crusaders 3-1. Looking like a relatively young Crusaders team. Looking over their roster, we see three seniors on the squad. Lucy Palmer, Ainsley Dunn, and Abby Christman. Otherwise, it's a pretty young team, whereas the Challengers have 3 JV players, freshmen, who see some minutes on the varsity roster. The Crusaders have 6 freshmen, including Taylor Willette, Emma Johnston, Maddie Ward, Lily Jensen, Kylie Miller, and Noelle Thickett. And then I also have a smattering of sophomores like Sydney Alexander, Albie Vorovansky, Caitlin Hansen, Kylie Kinsel as a junior this year. So a fairly young team, whereas the Challengers, as you can see with this group, now their roster consists of 13 varsity players. Right now at the varsity level, you look at it, in terms of current varsity or swing players, not a whole lot of underclassmen there, but you have Madison Todd and Maddie Carter, Molly Griffin are all freshmen. Then they have Emma Palmer, Ellie Harrington as sophomores. And then Callie Sweem is a junior this year. So you kind of have teams that are presently operating under one set of circumstances. And then you have another team that's definitely kind of in a rebuilding mode. The head coach for the Crusaders is Katie Miller. She's assisted by Kim Struthers. As you can see right now, the Crusaders warming up out on the floor. The Cascade Christian Challengers have vacated, so everybody kind of takes turns a little bit. It's kind of like doing infield before a baseball game. Want to remind you that not only do we have a number of fine sponsors that help make broadcasting on Table Rock Sports possible, but here at Cascade Christian, we have a number of sponsors of Challenger Athletics that perform a valuable service to the program by supporting it. Our presenting sponsor this year is George Fox University. We welcome them coming on board this year as the presenting sponsor, and quite a number of former Challengers are now matriculating at George Fox, one of the top Christian universities on the West Coast. And if you're here and listening down the way here in the Medford area tonight, well, you know, there's a good opportunity that's not that far up the road. That's George Fox University. Some of our purple level sponsors include Daly's Cleaning, Trinity Counseling, and Big Town Hero, Central Equipment, Insight Vision Therapy, Path Church, Lithia Auto Stores, Harry Gerhard with Farmers Insurance, and Reese Electric. Gold level sponsors include Adroit Construction, Millionaire Medford, The Human Being, Russell Brown with State Farm Insurance, Ava Freight Systems. Also have Hamcon Builders, and Doug and Jennifer McMahon. And then also we have some associate sponsors worth noting, A-Plus Pools and Nike. Well, it's both, as now the Crusaders warm up on the floor, we're still a few moments away from time for tonight's match. It's the 6-0 Cascade Christian Challengers against the 3-2 St. Mary's Crusaders. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll get ready for the start of tonight's action right here on Table Rock Sports.
To get from here to there. By using public transit, bicyclists can go farther, save money, and improve the environment. RVTD. Here to get you there.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
You need to get from here to there. Using public transit to get to and from work gives you peace of mind and can save you money. RVTD. Here to get you there.
At My Circle K, powered by GP Energy, you can turn an ordinary lunch break into something extraordinary with crispy, crunchy chicken. Grab and go their delicious chicken, chicken tenders, famous biscuits, and tasty sides. MyCircleK.com.
US Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All US Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for US Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Whether it's morning motivation to get your day going, adding crunch to your lunch, fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion. Moments away from the start of tonight's match between the Cascade Christian Challengers and the St. Mary's Crusaders. Crusaders continuing to warm up out on the floor. And things starting a little late tonight. Senior recognition night. There will be a lot of that coming up here in the next week or so. As a matter of fact, on Friday night, here I'll put a little shameless plug for Challengers football on Table Rock. On Friday night, the Challengers get set to take on Douglas in a game that will kick off at 7 o'clock. But here's something to note. Because of that night being senior night, we'll start the broadcast at 6:30. About 6:45, 11 Challenger seniors will be recognized before the start of the game, and we want to make especially sure that we honor them in this truncated season that we've had. And then coming up, it's funny to think already, coming up on spring break. Spring break is next week, but now I think some of us that are involved in the fall sports, speaking myself as an assistant boys soccer coach at Cascade, that we're getting to experience what a lot of folks in high school softball have been experiencing for a number of years, in that now they're used to playing a lot of spring break games. That's something that's kind of new to us. And a couple of cases, I know we've got a couple of fall sports where we've got athletes that'll be out of town next week. And so it'll provide a real test for those that are still here in town and maybe getting opportunities to step up and play in action coming up next week. So, again, just because it's spring break, remember that there's still high school sports going on, so make sure you refer to your OSAA schedules, and then also take a look at the menu in terms of if you want to find out what's going to be coming up here on Table Rock. You can follow what's going on and see who's going to be where and where you might be able to watch it via video streaming. And right now, the Challengers right out here on the floor. But getting back to senior recognition, the Challenger boys soccer team, who's currently 3-0, will take on North Bend in a non-league game a week from Saturday. And that will be senior recognition day for the 8 Challenger boys who are seniors on that team. Then I think it's the week following that the Challenger girls soccer team, they have 5 seniors on their squad this year, and they will be honored in a game that will be taking place, I want to say it's against St. Mary's on March 31st. So a lot of action coming up, and just because it's spring break, it's kind of snuck up on it this year. Everything's just out of kilter. Ordinarily by now, many of you who are a part of the high school sports scene, you're used to, we just come off the high school basketball tournament, and we're kind of beginning to settle into warming up for spring sports. But this year, a completely different ball game. Right now, with the OSAA, we're currently in the middle of what they call Season 2, and that's basically your typical fall sports. And thank goodness, right at the last minute, they were able to make it possible for a football season to take place, although it'll be, again, an abbreviated schedule. This year, for example, the Challengers play 5 games this year, and here it is. Friday night's game will be just their 3rd game of the year, but it'll be their final home date of the quote-unquote regular season. And then they have 2 road games to polish off their schedule, and just like that, it's suddenly over. And then when we move into Season 3 here in the early part of April, following the culminating weeks, and again, like I said, there's a lot of that isn't really finally settled, particularly down at the 3A level. A lot of things being discussed, but in terms of what exactly is going to happen, you really have to take it a week at a time. What can you do? Especially when you take into consideration that around the state of Oregon, thank goodness we have more and more counties that have gotten out of the extreme risk category, moving down to high. But as we know here, as we've been in that status for a certain amount of time along the way, that there's still, some pretty heavy restrictions on just how many people can be in attendance at a ball game. So, and of course, we want to be able to make it possible for everybody, if possible, to get there. And hopefully, things here in Jackson County, after looking a little scary for a couple of weeks, at least right now, it's starting to trend in the right direction. But enough talking about the public health sector. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of tonight's match. The Challengers putting their 6-0 record on the line against the Crusaders. Off to a brilliant start. You figure in this season they have only lost 2 sets. That's impressive. And they're going to, you got a Crusaders team. Every time you talk about a crosstown rivalry match, those emotions come into play. And emotions, from my experience, they can either work for you or they can work against you. No question about it tonight. This Crusader squad, it would make their season to come in here and beat the Challengers in their own house. They know that they'll have their hands full nonetheless, because this Challenger team off to a brilliant start. As we see them warming up on the floor, one of those seniors, Hannah Stanfield, wearing number 1, there to the left of the scorers table. Powerful. Ani Farmer, great middle blocker. Millie Croy takes care of things along the back line as a defensive specialist. Maddie Strain came in, transferred in from South Medford last year, and she's really settled into that role as a libero. And then you have other players such as Kara Palmer and Janie Keniston that have done such a fine job. Taylor Cave. This is just really a great team and very powerful. And again, Crusaders, a much younger team. A lot less experience, but you know that they're in a growth phase. And again, on any given night, it may sound cliche, But the truth of the matter is if you get a team that gets out to that lead, and how many times have you seen, I know this year I have probably seen more volleyball in a year than I've probably seen in the last 30 combined. But in that time, I've noticed in matches that volleyball is a game of runs, that you pick up a couple of points along the way, maybe get a service ace, or you win out on a hard-fought volley, and it gets you pumped up. It gets you going. And next thing you know, you start to thinking, I might have a chance at winning this. And so when the action's going on, then you find yourself maybe hustling a little bit harder, playing a little bit smarter. And then suddenly, before you know it, you've come out a winner. But Cascade Christian, no doubt looking to make a statement, especially these 7 seniors that have been honored this evening, that they want to finish well. And so you know that there won't be any need for any great speeches or anything of the sort to get them up to play tonight's game, that they'll be ready. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll get you started in tonight's match. Remember that one of our sponsors is Bill's Glass, family owned and operated for over 50 years. When you hear that crash, think Bill's Glass. We'll take a quick timeout, and then we'll be back getting you ready for the start of the action right here on Table Rock Sports.
Workers' comp claim was denied. Or was it accepted? Now what are you supposed to do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Since 1991, Medford area residents have looked to Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon for vision care for the whole family. Specializing in optometry for adults and children, ECA uses state-of-the-art diagnostic tools to scan for health risks and get your prescription just right. Get your students a comprehensive vision check to ensure they have their best chance to learn and succeed. And look good while you see well. Specialists in our optical boutique have extensive styles on hand or can special order. We hope to see your family at Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon. Visit eyecaresouthern.com to learn more.
Waiting, even a few days, to report a work injury or illness could cost you everything. But how do you know what you should do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, we're moments away from the start of tonight's match between the Cascade Christian Challengers and the St. Mary's Crusaders, a pair of programs that have a rivalry that has really grown over the years. And, of course, I can remember the days back in the day, not too many years after I'd graduated from school here, when the Challengers had moved up. You remember back in the days when there was a Class B classification, and the Challengers were a part of that. A lot of those schools are now comprised of the 1A, but then the Challengers moved up to the 2A, where St. Mary's had thrived for a number of years. And right now we're going to go ahead and turn it to our public address announcer, Nate Maven.
starting lineups. First for the visiting Crusaders from St. Mary's High School. I don't have positions, I apologize. Freshman number 5, Emma Johnston. Senior number 7, Abby Crispin. Sophomore number 8, Caitlin Hansen. Freshman number 10, Maddie Ward. Sophomore number 12, Kelsey Dunn. Freshman number 15, Noelle Pickett. And libero, sophomore number 6, Albie Barankson. Shoulders are headed up by Katie Miller, assistant by Kent Strulers. And now, for your Cascade Christian Crusaders, our challengers. Starting at outside hitter, senior number 1, Hannah Stanfield. Starting at libero, senior number 2, Maddie Strain. Starting at middle blocker, senior number 3, Jamie Henderson. Starting at setter, senior number 5, Taylor Kay. Starting at middle blocker, senior number 13, Ani Farmer. Starting at outside hitter, senior number 14, Kara Palmer. And starting as defensive specialist, senior number 15, Billy Cool. The challengers are under the direction of head coach Bob Fletcher and assisted by Tyler Harrington. Jonathan Jones, and line judges Bob Fletcher and David Hoffman.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. David Alvarez in the house, working the camera for us this evening, and we're off and running here, getting set to bring you high school volleyball action on TableRockSports.net. Glad you could be here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion. It is senior night. And kind of, that point in the season where it kind of hits home. It's kind of an emotional time for parents and players alike as you realize that, you're getting to that point where it's all starting to wind down. Challengers come out with number 15, Millie Croy. She's the one nearest our vantage point, wearing number 15. She's joined up front. That's number 14, Kara Palmer, with the blonde ponytail. Janie Keniston, number 3, with her back to the net, as they talk with the official. Along the back line, moving from near to far from where we sit, there's Ani Farmer, number 13. And then number 1, Hannah Stanfield. And moving up front is number 5, Taylor Cave, wearing the libero uniform. Number 2, Maddie Strain. Up front for the St. Mary's Crusaders on the other side, Kelsey Dunn is number 12. She's the nearest us along the front line. In the middle, it's number 8, Caitlin Hansen. Number 7, to her right, is Abby Crispin. The libero is number 6, Albie Borovansky. And joining her along the back line, Maddie Ward is nearest us. And the young lady in the middle, that's number 15, Noelle Thickett. Glad you could be here tonight. Glad that we could be here tonight to bring you all the action right here on Table Rock Sports. It's going to be a good one. Challengers looking to stretch their season record to 7-0. And the Crusaders come in with a 3-2 record. Everybody's getting set up. Last little bit of discussion I can see right now. Cave, Palmer, and Keniston. Little discussion going on there. And the Crusaders with the serve. That is Emma Johnston. Her first serve is a net ball. So the challengers with the first point of the night, and now Kara Palmer takes her turn for Cascade. That's met along the back line by Johnston. Palmer's there with the dig from the back line. Nice return by Stanfield, but is met by the Crusaders. And then a strong return by Kelsey Dunn, but it goes out of bounds. Challengers take the early 2-0 lead. Palmer, a good serve there, but it is met by Thicket. And the Crusaders pick up a point to draw within one. Opening set of the night as Abby Crispin gets ready to serve. The house goes quiet all of a sudden. There to meet it is Strain. Ball goes low. And now we're tied up at 2 apiece. Nice back and forth action, but the challengers pick up a point on the side out. Now they're up by 1 at 3-2. Back to service number 3, Janie Keniston. Keniston just over the net. Dunn with the return. Cave setting it up for Stanfield, and it lands inbounds. Keniston met by Johnston. Again, you can see Crispin, or I should say Kelsey Dunn, with a lot of power. But that one ends up landing out of bounds. Play at the net. Dunn just drops it right in. Lands in front of Callie Sleem, who's just checked into the match. Point to the Crusaders, who draw within 2. And here's Caitlin Hansen. Croy makes a dive. And a good play at the net. Maddie Ward for the Crusaders. Found that hole on the challenger side of the court. Draws the Crusaders within 1. Stanfield, Cave, back to Stanfield. And it lands in bounds. We see a lot of power from these challenger seniors, but Stanfield with a show of finesse as Taylor Cave gets ready to serve. Cave, little jump serve. Nicely done. Barvansky did a nice job to try to keep it alive for the Crusaders, but the challengers prevail. Now leading 7-4, as you can see on the John L. Scott scoreboard in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Cave sets it up, goes right to Maddie Carter. Cave keeps it alive, strings there. Carter, back across it goes. But there to meet it's Morvansky. Ball just tips over the net. And an illegal touch by the Crusaders makes it 8-4 Cascade. Cave serve, a little bit short. Kelsey Dunn will get ready. And she serves like she returns. There will be a lot of power behind this. Drops it in. Sweem is there. Now to Strain. Now it goes up on the rafters. Cascade with the point. Make sure that when you need a product or service, that you consider doing business with those who are The great sponsors of Table Rock Sports, among them Lithia, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler. This is their game of the week. Yes, St. Mary's picks up a point. Borovansky ready to serve. Looks like a little discussion between the official and St. Mary's bench over the touchline. Cave sets it up. And St. Mary's trying to keep it alive. There for the Crusaders is Emma Johnston. But Cascade Christian prevails. Here's Maddie Strain. Nice serve. But a good little dig there by Johnston. And the challengers on the return keep it in bounds. And they extend their lead to 5. Strain leading the challengers on a nice little run here in the opening set. Strain with a serve. You could see Kelsey Dunn there valiantly trying to make a play. Couldn't get there in time. Strain. Across the net it goes. Dunn is there. The dig by Strain. It goes Libero to Libero. And Borovansky unable to rescue it. So the challengers on a nice run here in the opening set. Borovansky with the dig. Now there's Dunn. Dunn moves it cross court. Nice little sequence going. Play at the net. A double tap called against the Crusaders. Now it's 14-6. Checking out the lineup is Noelle Thickett. Maddie Strain. Across it goes to Dunn. A little finesse play at the net. Abby Crispin. Just a gentle touch on it. And it falls the Crusaders' way. Strain. Cave. Carter. Crispin once again. She just gets it over just behind Janie Keniston. Backline unable to get there. Stanfield. Strain sets it for Palmer. She drops it in. Crusaders keep it alive. Cave. Strain. And that was Maddie Carter setting up that play for Cascade. And now the freshman will serve for the challengers. I was wrong earlier. She's not a swing player. She is full-time varsity now. And you can see why. Advanced in her development as a player, you might say. Cave with the return. 4-touch call. And the Crusaders down by 6. Have Emma Johnston with the serve. Millie Croy back into the match for Cascade as Carter goes up. Just over the net it goes. Keniston meets it. Palmer's there. And is it in? It is. Now Kara will move back for Cascade service. Ball attempting to make a play on us, Barvansky. Ball ends up sailing backwards as the Challengers go up by 7. Opening set of tonight's match, senior night for Cascade Christian. That one just grazes the net. Croy tries to make a play. Sideways it goes and to the floor to make it 17-10. Abby Christman, one of 3 seniors for St. Mary's. Stanfield, Cave there, back to Stanfield, and a point to the Challengers. Ani Farmer back in the match, middle blocker. Attempting to make a play, that looked like Noelle Thicket over there. Her touch results in a side out. Keniston, she just dropped that one right in there. Does a nice job of extending the Challenger lead to double digits now. St. Mary's done. But Sweem there with the answer for Cascade. Stanfield. But back there in the back is Johnston. Play at the net. And this goes Cascade's way, as now they are 4 away from taking the first set of action. Ball tipped up in the air. Kelsey Dunn. Valiant play by Keniston and Stanfield to keep it alive. There's Cave with Stanfield. She found the perfect spot to put the Challengers up by 12. Keniston, this one right into the net. And that Challenger lead at 11, but now opportunity for the Crusaders with Caitlin Hansen. Hansen served this one a little bit short. So Challengers closing in on the first set victory. Cave. Met by the Crusaders. Cave to Stanfield. But there's Barvansky for St. Mary's. Sweem. Cave. Ani Farmer making the play. And now it is, sometimes I don't always do the greatest job of keeping up the scoreboard here, but it is indeed 24-11 Cascade. Served by Taylor is a little bit short. So Kelsey Dunn will have an opportunity now to try to see if she can't start a Crusader charge. Stanfield, Cave sets it now for Carter. And the Challengers take the first set. After one, it is the Challengers 1-0 after the 25-12 victory. This will give us opportunity to say thanks to our fine sponsors, and we'll be back with more on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
At My Circle K, powered by GP Energy, you can turn an ordinary lunch break into something extraordinary with crispy, crunchy chicken. Grab and go their delicious chicken, chicken tenders, famous biscuits, and tasty sides. MyCircleK.com.
US Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All US Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for US Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Whether it's morning motivation to get your day going, adding crunch to your lunch, fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion. The challengers up by 1 here after the opening set. As you can see there, after the first set, challengers won 25-11. They're up 1-0. Also want to take a moment to thank the sponsors of Challenger Athletics. That includes Kelly Connect, also Hart Insurance, and Evergreen Bank, our scoreboard sponsor for Challenger Athletics. I want to make sure we get those in this evening and thank them. The combined efforts of our Challenger Athletics sponsors have raised over $60,000 for Challenger Athletics programs. I tell you what, you spend a little bit of time on the inside, you realize, and I tell you what, whatever our athletic department gets paid with this crazy COVID season and all the rescheduling, keeping up on policies and rules and stuff like that, you can double their salary, and maybe that might be just enough to cover what all that they've done. But, you know, we all do this for the love of the game, and I think we're also appreciative of the fact that our kids get to get out here and play. As we get ready to start the second set, looking along the front line for their Crusaders, number 12 is Kelsey Dunn. In the middle is number 8, Caitlin Hanson. Number 7 on the far side is Abby Christman. In the back line, we got Noelle Thickett, along with number 10, Maddie Ward. And then the libero is Albie Vorvansky. Cave getting ready to serve for the Challengers. She's number 5. And the ball is volleyed around, ends up going out of bounds. And the call goes Cascade Christian's way. Cave, met by the Crusaders. Tip back across. Cave, but a good block on the return by Farmer. But this call going to go the Crusaders' way. So now the second set, it's tied up at 1 apiece. On this play, the Crusaders drop it right in front of Millie Croy to go up 2-1. And that's kind of how the first set started out. The Crusaders started out well, went back and forth for a little while. And they're going to call Stanfield for the illegal touch. So now the score is 3-1, St. Mary's. Abby Crispin with it. And did it go out of bounds? Indeed it did. A smart play by the Challengers to let this one go out. And now Hannah Stanfield stands back ready to serve. Stanfield, and then across it goes to the Crusaders. Hansen, Barvansky, back over to Strain. Making a play on it is Carter. And the Challengers tie it up here in the second. Jump serve by Stanfield, and the Challengers take the lead. So it's Stanfield, and then in front of her is number 2, Maddie Strain, number 5, Taylor Cave. There at the front line. Challengers keep it alive. Farmer to Palmer. Around it goes. Kelsey Dunn with the play for the Crusaders. And now it's tied up at 4-all. Caitlin Hansen for St. Mary's. There to meet it is Stanfield. And it was Dunn just finding that little spot on the floor as the Crusaders retake the lead. Strain had to dive for that one, but the Challengers managed to keep it alive, and now we get a double tap called against the Crusaders. And that ties this up at 5 apiece. Strain serves it left. Attempted return by the Crusaders. Winds up in the net as Cascade goes up by 1. Strain meets the opposite libero with Borbansky. And this call goes against the Crusaders as the Challengers go up by 2. Dunn for the Crusaders is there to meet it. Call goes Cascade Christian's way. We have a substitution as Thicket comes out. Entering the match is senior Lucy Palmer. Challengers now up 8-5. Strain, across it goes. Back over to the Cascade side. Valiant play. Nice play there by Strain and Stanfield. And then Janie Kenniston with the kill. Challengers now up by 4. St. Mary's scoring on that last one. Just over the net it goes. Cave sets it up. Carter there, but on the return, she couldn't quite get to it in time. But the call goes against St. Mary's. Challengers up by 4. Maddie Carter with the serve. Oh, that one looks like it just landed in bounds. Good play by the Crusaders. Maddie Ward in there. Now Borvansky. Going to see if she can't cut into that 3-point Challenger lead. Cave sets it up for Palmer. Right there for the Crusaders is Johnston. But Cascade prevails on this one. It's 11-7 here in the second set. Challengers up 1-0. Palmer, line drive serve, doesn't clear. Now Millie Croy will come in to the match. Palmer will come out. Croy tries to make a play. That one goes sideways on her. And Lucy Palmer going to try to get her Crusaders a little bit closer. Nice play there by Cave. Sets it up for Keniston. And now the Crusaders down by just one. And the Crusaders drop that right in as they tie things up. Substitution for Cascade. Palmer comes in. Croy will come out. Palmer meets the Crusaders serve. Keniston gets it across. There with the block is Keniston. Cascade takes the point. And now it'll be Janie Keniston. Behind the line, serving it up. Palmer, Cave. And that is Ani Farmer for Cascade Christian as they go up by 2. (13-11). Keniston's serve just grazes the net. Crusaders keep it alive. Over to the Challengers side. Stanfield there. Gets it across. Vying at the net. We had Abby Chrisman there along with Farmer. Challengers now up by 3. Net ball against Cascade. Johnston with a nice deep serve. And Hannah Stanfield, her return, swatted backwards. Challengers get it back. Play by Johnston. Thicket. Cave for Farmer. But right there making a nice play is Hanson to keep it alive. Strain. Oh, diving effort there by Carter. And the Challengers take the point. So Maddie Carter really set that up with a nice diving attempt to keep the ball alive. Timeout call. We'll take one as well. It's the Challengers and Crusaders on TableRockSports.net. You see the score right there on your John L. Scott scoreboard.
In our store is that we have the best selection and the best value for the dollar.
My name's Haley, and I've been showing sheep for 5 years through 4-H and pigs for 2 years through 4-H. 2 years ago I got grand champion, and today I got reserve grand champion. It's a really good program, and it teaches the kids self-responsibility. And the program wouldn't be how it is today if we didn't have people like Sherm coming out and supporting us.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, we just come right out of timeout. Challengers play at the net. Strain tries to make a play, but can't get there. Still a valiant effort, but the Crusaders draw within 3. 16-13 here in the second set. Farmer there with a powerful return. Challengers go up by 4. And with all that height they got at the net between Palmer, Farmer, and then you got the powerful play of Keniston and Stanfield. It's pick your poison. Challengers score another one as they go up by 5. Stanfield serving right now for Cascade. Jump serve. Met by Thicket. And an attempt at a return by Thicket goes a little too deep. So now it's 19-13. And a substitution in the match. Johnston will come out. Sydney Alexander, sophomore, checks in. Back on the back line. Jump, serve by Stanfield. Up it goes. Stanfield keeping it alive. Cave to Palmer. And it goes out of bounds. That play had great possibilities, but just as it went across. Curved that one just a little too much. Cave, Farmer. Good work by Ani Farmer. First-year challenger, transferring in from Ashland. Challengers now up by 6. Strain with service. This one short into the net. And the Crusaders chasing the match, but they have the ball. Dunn. Met by Stanfield. Carter with it, just a little too deep on the return. 2016 now. Dunn. Stanfield. Cave. Janie Keniston. What a return. Now that is what you call a kill. Freshman Molly Griffin will check into the match for her fellow freshman Maddie Carter. Griffin will come back to serve. Her serve is met by Alexander. Stanfield keeping it alive. Griffin sets it now. Play at the net. This one will go the Crusaders' way. As they draw within 4. Abby Christman now up front, along with Palmer and Alexander. Back serving is Borbanski. Setting it up is Griffin. And the Challengers now just 3 away from taking the second set. Palmer. Cross it goes to Alexander. Dunn tries to make a play. Gets up for it, but it winds up in the net. Palmer. And this one makes it. Kara Palmer with the service ace. Game point for Cascade Christian. Into the match now is Emma Johnston. There was Johnston with it, ends up going back out of bounds. And that will conclude the second set. The Challengers now go up 2-0 on the heels of the 25-17 victory in the second. And as you will see here momentarily on the John L. Scott scoreboard, the Challengers thus far celebrating senior night in fine fashion. They lead the St. Mary's Crusaders. We'll be back with the third set right here on TableRockSports.net.
Workers' comp claim was denied. Or was it accepted? Now what are you supposed to do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Since 1991, Medford area residents have looked to Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon for vision care for the whole family. Specializing in optometry for adults and children, ECA uses state-of-the-art diagnostic tools to scan for health risks and get your prescription just right. Get your students a comprehensive vision check to ensure they have their best chance to learn and succeed. And look good while you see well. Specialists in our optical boutique have extensive styles on hand or can special order. We hope to see your family at Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon. Visit eyecaresouthernOregon.com to learn more.
Waiting, even a few days, to report a work injury or illness could cost you everything. But how do you know what you should do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
You need to get from here to there. By using public transit, bicyclists can go farther, save money, and improve the environment. RVTD, here to get you there.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
You need to get from here to there. Using public transit to get to and from work gives you peace of mind and can save you money. RVTD, here to get you there.
Want to remind you tonight that one of our sponsors that help make this action possible here on Table Rock Sports is Medford Parks and Recreation Department and Medford.com. Be sure to visit them for programs, sports leagues, and activities for everyone in the family. They're starting up again. To find out more, go visit PlayMedford.com to learn more. Challengers have come out of the timeout. Getting ready to start the third set. Challengers looking to come away with another straight set victory, and they've won 3 of those in a row. Starting with South Umpqua a couple of Saturdays ago, back on March 10th, followed by doing the same twice last week, once against South Umpqua, and then again against Douglas. After tonight's match, I want to remind you that the Challengers will be hosting Brookings Harbor at the Cascade Christian Pavilion. And guess what? We're going to be bringing it right here on TableRockSports.net. And again, the match will get started at 6 o'clock. St. Mary's. Over it goes to Farmer. Good play by Hanson. Crusaders go up 1-0. Or actually, I should say, yeah, Challengers go up 1-0. I meant to say that, right? Right. Challengers take control here early in the third set. Cave, across it goes to Montana Driscoll, who's in the match. Ball lands in the direction of Madison Todd, seeing action tonight. Wearing number 6. She's right behind Farmer. Crispin with the serve. The ball side out. And now it's knotted up at 2. Crispin Ball over the line. Cascade Christian taking the 3-2 lead now. Hannah Stanfield, one of 7 Challengers seniors honored this evening. Great outside hitter, and she does her part in helping extend the Challenger lead. Stanfield. And the ball drops flat on the Crusaders' side. Challengers now up 5-2. And the ball drops in right in front of Taylor Cave. It goes. So the Crusaders drop within 2. And getting ready to serve is Hanson, who's had a good match tonight. Going out is Driscoll, and coming in, Lucy Palmer. Serve goes across, straight to meet it for the Challengers. Power play by Kara Palmer. And we'll be seeing her in the spring, no doubt. She's been an integral part of the Challenger softball program the last several years, playing third base. Ball tipped around. Keeping it alive is Dunn. But the Challengers somehow managed to stay in this, and they pick up the point. I'm so glad we've got video to allow you guys to see that, you fans watching at home and along the way. So much happening there. Too fast for the tongue to describe. Cave. Palmer. Play at the net. It goes the Challengers' way. That was Palmer there. Lucy Palmer, that is, trying to keep that alive. And Challengers now up by 5. Strain. Cross it goes. Dunn is there for the Crusaders. Cave sets it up. And the Crusaders won't get this one as they draw within 4. They're trying to stay alive here. They're down 2-0, and we're here in the third. Dunn. Her serve met by Stanfield. And the Challengers drop that one in. Seems like no matter what the opposition does, the Challengers have an answer for it. Here is Maddie Todd. Across it goes to the Crusaders' side of the net. Keeping it alive is Kara Palmer. And that one ends up going out of bounds. Crusaders within 4 at 9-5. Kara. Palmer. She drops that one in. A no-doubter as the Challengers now lead by 5. Palmer with the serve. Kelsey Dunn with the play. Now Cave. And Keniston is there. Janie Keniston always knows when to make just the right play on the ball. Whether it needs a little finesse or whether it needs some power behind it. Keniston. Dunn there to meet it, though. Palmer. There's Stanfield. Dunn making the valiant effort. She falls backwards as she tries to make a play on. The ball ends up going backwards as well. The return by the Crusaders. Out of bounds it goes. And now the Challengers in the driver's seat here in the third with Kara Palmer ready to go. Ball's into the net. Crusaders get a break. And now Lucy Palmer as Allie Harrington gets ready to check in. Sophomore wearing number 8 along the back line. Serve ends up out of bounds. Challengers now up 14-6. Janie Keniston. Checking in is Montana Driscoll. Serve is up. Attempt to return, but a block at the net by the Challengers, but this one ends up going St. Mary's way. Down by 7. Crusaders have service. Checking in is Millie Croy for the Challengers. Ani Farmer also back in. Noelle Thickett